I'm super excited to be sitting here with Ali. Ali is the CEO of Mind Blank, the most beautiful mission in this world, and I am going to introduce you to her and allow her to tell you a little bit about what she's created and the plans ahead.
Hi guys, I'm Ali, and what Mind Blank does, what our true mission is we aim to reduce the risk of suicide through interactive theatre in schools and communities. So a little bit about the story of Mind Blank is, in all honesty, there was a raw intention for me to be able to create a program to educate young people, because I knew what it was like growing up in my family in which mental health touched us. My first memory of it was actually the age of 6. And I still can recall very vividly my mum struggled with depression quite a lot. And I remember going into her room, all the drapes are shut. She's crying, bawling her eyes out. And I remember my family's attitude. So my dad often disconnected, and he often said, don't worry, she'll get over it. And I remember my brother, who's 3 years older than me, he used to just disconnect, play computer games.
Yeah.
Like, he just followed that model. And at the age of 6, I remember I used to crawl into her bed and I used to cry with her. So there's a level of understanding and empathy, and when a parent or caregiver is going through that, it makes you grow up really fast. And throughout my journey, I really wanted to do something different, change the ball game a little bit. So I come from a theatre background and a psychology background, and we've created a model through interactive theatre that we educate young people in schools on depression awareness and suicide prevention programs.
It honestly makes my heart sing, not only because I guess for me, even within my journey, it's the same sort of thing. It comes to a point where everyone needs to step up and just want to be the difference, and that is being vulnerable and just being something that people need. And the fact is that the mission that you're having, it just is so powerful to me, because like being able to be there and give someone with Weight Management Revolution, even with self-worth and seeing how amazing they are, you need the point of like that, a place of empathy and permission for somebody to be able to
absolutely
align with you. And yeah, I think it's just so amazing. And to start with children,
absolutely,
like you are the beginning of the journey and enabling them to know so young that there is a voice and there is like a way to be able to move through rather than feel stuck and alone.
For sure.
So I just love it.
And look, there's a lot in common the two of us have. My journey in terms of when I started Mind Blank, I was 22, and I just knew my belly was full of fire, and I was a doer. You know, I had to go out and show the world what it is that I wanted to do so that they fully understood it. And absolutely, I 110% believe in the preventative side of things. And if only, you know, there were more positive role models that encouraged confidence, and that aspect of help seeking early can really avoid a lot of downward spirals that young people face when they're going through struggles with their emotions and well-being.
Yeah. And for us to be able to, I guess, come together and be able to be the difference of people in both ways, but really in the synergetic ways, is just for everyone to have something. And I feel that I speak to people, and I have always said, I want to change the world. And people have always said to me, you know, even now, they say that's a really big task, you know, do you think you can do it? I'm like, but if everyone had the mindset of changing the world around them, the whole world would change.
Yeah, for sure.
Because then everyone's making the impact possible. And
you just got to do it one step at a time. Like, when I started Mind Blank, my vision was, let's get into every single school in Australia, right? And so far we're still working towards it. You know, it's a very big vision, but we have directly impacted 25,000 young people or more. Like, we've still got quite a lot of data that we're still collecting to close the end of the year, but the opportunities keep flowing in. So some highlights this year is we were able to secure funding to go into the Northern Territory. So this year we directly impacted 5,000 individuals from up north. And
so amazing.
We've got some teams out in Sydney, Canberra, and here in Queensland.
It honestly, it's amazing. And to know that you know, what's to come and the synergies that we have between us for what you're doing, and for us to be able to support you, you know, like to be a part of something we're calling a revolution isn't just to do with the weight. Actually, the byproduct is just physical health. We actually just want to team with people that are making impact in any way, shape or form that's needed, and this is something that is so needed and we will support forever. So to have Ali and just to know her heart and what she's doing, and no, well, I say you, is just beautiful.
Oh, no, absolutely. I do want to just emphasize that how this conversation happened. Through crossing paths, you will begin to, when you're on a journey of personal growth, I think you start to match very like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
So we were
like,
very
I get it. Like, yes.
Yeah, we were very lucky to cross paths, but like obviously I think it was meant to be.
Yeah.
That sounds. So we met, and one thing that we were noticing in schools, and we've collected some data and evaluations to say that a lot of young people are struggling with their body image. And when it comes to mental health, the statistics out there is, well, suicide is actually the leading cause of death for young people. And we know in schools that young people are struggling with depression and anxiety, but in particular, we're starting to see these trends where young people want to know more about body image, because eating disorders are out there as a trend at the moment that continues getting worse. But we are finding when it comes to when individuals are lost, the unfortunate reality is there are more suicides to people with eating disorders. So if we can do anything, even if it's just change one person's mind about how they see themselves and their well-being, then I think that we're starting to create a movement that has potential to get bigger and better. So that's why I think that when the opportunity came, I was like so excited to be able to do something.
And you know what, as you said that, I actually remember, and I've told this story within the modules, or within somewhere, one of my seminars maybe, when I was a nanny, I was probably 18.
Yeah.
I remember actually physically, deliberately Googling how to get anorexia, because I actually went with the intent of losing weight quickly. I didn't want anorexia. But the point is that people are in this stage where I felt so lost that I didn't know how. I knew that this feeling that was on the other side of me getting this body would be every answer I was ever looking for, so I would have done anything to get there. But I remember literally, and do you know what it said? It said for me to punch myself in the stomach when I was hungry, and also paint my nails or have a bath to distract me from eating. I did both of them. And do you know what? To the point where I actually laughed at myself when I punched myself in the stomach, because I knew how bad it was. The worst part is I still did it.
Yeah, right.
So to know that the links had just clued even more, because I was like, yes, exactly right.
Oh,
and then from there, where do you go if we haven't got our help?
And look, the internet does provide a platform that unfortunately is... Australia is actually quite a leader in terms of censoring internet and media references that can be negative for young people, and yet we still hear stories like that.
It should be, you don't need, why would you want to search for anorexia? You know, there should be something, there's some sort of message when you're doing it to go, you are worthy just as you are. Maybe we could do that. Maybe we can have a meeting with Google and say, look, can we get rid of all of that? Because...
Well, I'm sure there'll be lots of local health districts and stuff that would jump on board with that, because look, we are losing a battle right now, and any young person that we lose is such a tragedy. And
without self-worth, we're lost anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like, who are we without self-worth? We need to get it back.
And I feel like you talked before, or you used the word movement. Absolutely, preventative measures for young people is such a strength. But I honestly believe that no matter what age or part of the community you exist in, like, you have potential to support others around you. And like what I'm finding with mental health is, yes, young people are starting to become aware of it. We've got an issue sometimes where parents are struggling with kids and they don't know what to do. Or if you had a young person with the the example that you shared, parents freak out. You know, they don't know what to do. And sometimes we're losing out because the systems, like the mental health systems, they're maxed out. You know, and sometimes when an individual does finally seek help, they might not get the right person to start with, and it really does take a movement around an individual to help support proper sturdy
community, and
absolutely
every point. And I guess exactly what you're saying, and within the movement, I feel as though because I went to so many different things when it came to the hashtag self-love that seems to be going viral, which is amazing because any point of those words is amazing and any impact that can change someone's worth. However, the power isn't in the education, the power is in the movement and the genuine help that's come from a source that's had it.
Absolutely.
Right? So teachers and parents are suffering with the same thing as the kids do, so how can they help when they're not feeling worthy themselves?
Absolutely.
You know, and suffering with mental health problems. So if we can actually work together, which is what we're doing, and not only impact in schools but also help the parents with self-worth, which is a scary journey, but it's equally as uncomfortable as staying there, but you progress forever.
Yeah,
it's so amazing.
And it really is like one step at a time. And I know that part of your program, like with a personal goal such as increasing fitness or losing weight, I think in this society, and this is just my opinion, but we've got such a fast pace, and I think that people want to see instant results.
Hence the Googling anorexia.
Yeah, and it really does impact on someone's self-worth when they can't see results straight away. And I think that if there is one lesson, if you do have a young person in your life right now, is reminding them that sometimes things do take time, you know.
And yourself.
Absolutely. And being fair to yourself in regards to that process. And, you know, life always throws you curveballs. So you're going to have all of those excuses all the time.
Yeah.
But it's okay to take little steps forward, you know, or, you know, have a big picture, but have little micro steps or
progress,
mini goals to focus on, and absolutely to celebrate.
And that's what I always say. It's not about changing the tide, it's learning to ride the waves. And that's, I guess, even as a woman myself, I've learned that, you know, I don't need to weigh myself. I need to always progress and always do what's good for me internally, psychologically, and within my health.
Absolutely.
Whatever's going to be able to keep me moving forward. But I also need to know that it's not always going to keep feeling like it's up, but learning to ride when you're feeling down, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I heard something recently as well. I think it was a graduation ceremony, because this time of year it's like a few people are celebrating. The key lesson was once you know some of these things, to teach. And you know, you yourself may not be a teacher, but like if you think of opportunities and the fact that if you've finally learnt something that could be positive in your life, there are so many other people that could benefit from those lessons as well. And it's almost about choosing to be present, and as you do, be a civic citizen in a way, because it's not just about you. It's not an ego, it's a community.
Yeah. And the life that comes with that is just, I would never, and I can just imagine the sort of feeling you get with helping children or just helping in general is, that's life. And it's, you know, the better you can get, the better you can keep your environment and the surrounding.
Back to you.
Oh,
Absolutely.
heaven.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be a wild ride, but
absolutely. So what we look forward to in the future, like we've really briefly talked about a partnership, but I very much look forward to creating more impact, to inspiring a whole movement of people to continue with self-love and practice that can help promote positive well-being, that can hopefully aim to continue to prevent suicide and any mental health issues. You know, it's tough, it's hard, but you're never alone.
Never. And if you do know anyone that is suffering at a younger age, please do let us know, because I will 100% get them in touch with Ali, or I'm sure we've got some numbers on the website. And also knowing that there are big things coming between Mind Blank and Weight Management Revolution within the future, because that's what we choose to do, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's okay. Thanks for your time, guys.